Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got a great story out of Yahoo Finance. It's about HELOCs. It's about real estate, the state of the market, all right? This exact same thing happened in 2006. I can't wait. As prices of homes were going up, actually in 2006 they were starting to falter, but as the price of living was going up, the price of gas, price of vehicles, price of all kinds of stuff was rising. Nowhere like what we're seeing now. The use in HELOCs was exploding. People didn't have enough money to survive. This is going to lead to a greater real estate crash. And so I'm going to explain that here in this story. I'm also going to drop some more 80% off links down below. If the link doesn't work and it's not $199 for the course, then don't buy it, okay? But if that link is still live, that means you're in. And I'm going to be filming some more lessons. We're already at 28 lessons. I'm going to be filming some more later this month. All right. Out of Yahoo Finance, HELOCs, which stand for home equity lines of credit, in high demand amid rising housing prices and interest rates. First, I want to explain something. A HELOC is a second position on a home, and not all banks record the HELOC against the property. I know it sounds crazy. It's the exact same problem they did way back when, but by and large, they do record against your property. It is a second position, which means when or if you default, they are in a bad position, because the only way they can get their money back is if they foreclose on the home, and they would have to buy out the first. And the only reason more than likely that you're not paying on it is because you're having trouble along with the rest of the country, just like what happened in 2006, 2007. And they are in trouble because now the home price has fallen in value. Now, HELOCs, like they're gonna say, are in high demand. Banks are actually loaning out money right now on a depreciating asset. If you go look at Austin, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, all these cities all around the country, places in Idaho, they are falling in value. The entire nation has lost 4%. There are other places like the ones the aforementioned, or the ones I just talked about. They are falling even more than that, okay? So there is a day, and I believe soon in the next year, where these HELOCs are going to be underwater and these banks are screwed. And they're going to start, you're going to see news about it all over, and they're going to go running to the Fed for more emergency money. It's going to cause this banking collapse to get even bigger, right? So it says here, faced with skyrocketing housing prices and rising interest rates, homeowners are searching for home equity lines of credit at record rates, according to analysts of Google search data. Searches for HELOC, the actual term, skyrocketed 305% so far this year, according to the analysts commissioned by California-based luxury real estate firm Ruby Home. Homeowners that bought a few years ago at lower prices and lower interest rates can feel trapped, Ruby Home CEO Tony Martoni. Well, that's an interesting, Maritoni. Tony Martoni. Tony Maritoni. That's still a pretty cool name, actually. If they've considered buying a home, they've looked around at today's higher home prices and also know they can never replace the historically low interest rate they have now. A HELOC is a loan that homeowners can get based on the equity they built into their homes. Equity is the difference between the home's appraised value and the mortgage balance. Let me stop there and tell you that equity lines of credit have both fixed rate and variable rates built into them. They also have a lock where it can only rise to, usually it's 5 or 6 points over prime. I wouldn't know lately because I just haven't had a HELOC in, 15, 18 years. But my point being is that it's variable, but they have these lock-in periods. They stay fixed for a certain period, then they float. And when they float, that's when people get in a lot of trouble, right? But I believe people are already in trouble, and that's why they're racing to this, because they simply do not have enough money to survive. Now, I talked to a lender a while back, a friend of mine, and she said that most 90%, 80 to 90% of the HELOCs that are being put out, she'll just casually ask. They're not really allowed to. It's like, oh, just curious, you renovate in the house or what? And a lot of it's debt consolidation, okay? So that means that homeowners have gotten themselves into a position where they're being squeezed by the amount of bills they have, and they are going to go out and consolidate it. They're going to span the life of that loan. It's going to be now the payments will be spread out over 30 years. And they're going to have some breathing room. Here's the problem. They always get themselves into the back into that position, all right? They pay off the cars, they pay off the credit cards, all that stuff. Then you know what? They find something else that they want to buy. Their HELOC's tapped. They go get another credit card, okay? And it's usually, the devil's in the details of the 0% financing on the new fridge, the refrigerator. You know, it's literally like that. Oh, this is fine, it's 0%, we're gonna pay it off. But then they get themselves into something else. It's an addiction. Debt is an addiction. Now it says here, if a homeowner needs extra cash, a HELOC allows them to borrow funds from their home's equity. The funds can be used for significant expenses like a new roof, to pay off debts or car loans. These are the top 10 states where people are searching for HELOCs. Now think about this. Hawaii, Utah, Colorado, Washington, Idaho, Tennessee, California, Arizona, Nevada, and Florida. What do all of those have in common? I'll tell you. Those are all the highest spiking expenses, monthly expenses, and home costs in the country. That's right. You don't see places like Georgia, Alabama, other states that have really low cost of living relative to these states on this list. And so these areas are so impacted by the cost of living, and they're collapsing right now. It's only going to get worse. And these are big areas, okay? It says this information comes as the U.S. housing market sees mortgage rates rising by more than 22% from this time last year. The average price of a home is up 1.2% to $348, according to Zillow. But if you actually ask the National Association of Realtors, they say that the nation's median home price is down 4%. Now, I'll tell you this, Zillow is in the business of making money, and they only make money when the velocity of transactions is up. People have a euphoria about real estate. So take that information from Zillow with a grain of thought. Now, it goes on to say, and it's a quote from Tony, even though home equity loans carry a higher rate, a small loan for home improvement still works in their favor. The blended rate of the HELOC with their first mortgage is still below market rates for a new mortgage. And he's right. Because the way they do these introductory teaser offers, people get allured by that, but then they float. And that's when it gets scary, and people need to be very, very aware of that. The Mortgage Bankers Association Home Equity Lending Study found that organizations of open-ended HELOCs and closed-end home equity loans increased 50% in 2022 compared to 2 years earlier, with home renovations and remodeling driving demand. Other borrower reasons were for debt consolidation, which is 25% of the people, emergency cash management, or other made up 10%, according to the association's recently released report. The housing inventory shortage combined with home price appreciation and a low rate first mortgage make home renovations an attractive alternative for many homeowners who are looking to improve their spaces, said Maria Walsh, Association, the Vice President of Industry Analysis. So she's not obviously listening to Home Depot and Lowe's quarterly earnings, where they're saying that the consumer is tapped and they are now no longer doing home renovations. They are just repairing things that break. And that's very important, okay? So again, these are cheerleaders that are trying to talk you into something. I'm telling you, I would stay so far away from it. It's crazy. Grind and pay off the debt you've got and get ready for what's coming. And if you're getting ready for the housing crash, I'll throw some more 80% off links down below, because it's just common sense knowledge. And I believe that for $200, you are gonna make lots more money than that if you put these principles to use and just realize exactly where we are in this cycle. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out. How do I do this?